Boxing truth here. Wanted to talk a little bit about Sergey Kovalev's next fight. And it's been announced recently that he'll be fighting Isaac Chilemba, a light heavyweight contender who was rated in the top 10 by respected rankings like Ring Magazine, ESPN, also rated number 11 by BoxRec. So he's considered a top 10, top 15 opponent in the light heavyweight division. Decent fight. It's an in-house fight. Chilemba is also promoted by Main Events, as is Kovalev. And it'll be Kovalev's first fight in Russia in about almost 5 years. His last bout in Russia is something he would like to forget. The unfortunate incident happened with Roman Simakov, who passed away in their fight, days after their fight back in 2011. Something Kovalev still doesn't like to talk about, but he'll be fighting around in the same city, close to his hometown. It's a long-awaited homecoming from him. It's something that's been working on for the past year. He was supposed to fight there last year. They couldn't get it done, but now he's finally getting his homecoming bout. A tune-up of sorts. Chilemba is a solid opponent. I mean, he doesn't provide the firepower to really threaten Kovalev, but he's fought decent opposition. He was in a close fight with Eledor Alvarez his last fight. Debatable decision. I mean, it was close. Could have went either way. Obviously, Eledor Alvarez he was in his adopted home soil in Montreal. His promoter is Jim Interbox, who was the lead promoter of the show. And Chilemba didn't get the decision. Close fight, though. So he's coming off that loss in November to Eledor Alvarez. And he's going to get a shot against Kovalev for his 3 belts. Now, the interesting thing that was brought up by some people in the industry was that how are the sanctioning bodies going to sanction this fight, considering that Chilemba is not ranked by any of the organizations besides the WBC. However, Nicole Duva, who was part of Main Events, she said that the fight will be sanctioned by all the sanctioning bodies because Chilemba is rated in the top 10 by respected rankings. Also, the reason why Chilemba is not rated by the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF is because he participated in an eliminator in his last fight against Eledor Alvarez, and then according to the rules by the other sanctioning bodies, when a fighter participates in an eliminator for another organization, they get removed from the rankings temporarily for about 6 months. So expect next month's rankings, you'll see Chilemba rated in the top 10 of all the sanctioning bodies. He's currently rated number 6 for the WBC. So, in the article by Jake Donovan, it stated that the titles perhaps will not be on the line since Chilemba is not in the rankings right now. But that's already been refuted by Nicole Duva. The titles will be on the line. Chilemba is only temporarily removed from the ratings because of his eliminator with the WBC. So, this is a stay busy fight for Kovalev. I don't mind it. I mean, it's a solid opponent. Chilemba is not the most exciting fighter to watch. It's really a showcase. Kovalev should have no problems defeating Chilemba. He is awkward. He has some experience. He's been in there with some solid fighters, solid opposition. But it's just a fight to have in Russia, his homecoming. Get that out of the way. Another interesting thing about this fight is that it's going to take place on a Monday. It's going to take place on July 11th. It's not going to take place on a Saturday. according to Main Events, they have a primetime slot over in Russia on a network there on one of the channels on prime time, and they're pretty much stating that they're taking it back old school because back in the days, some of the biggest fights took place on a Monday. So this fight's going to take place on a Monday, which could mean that HBO perhaps will not be involved in televising Kovalev's next fight. That's still not official though. They're still trying to work out the logistics of perhaps trying to find a way to air the fight on a afternoon on a Monday here in the United States in order to get able to see Kovalev live here in America. Main Events is hopeful that HBO could somehow find a way to air the fight in order to help build the fight with Ward later this year. Another interesting thing is that Main Events and Rock Nation recently agreed to extend the deadline of when both fighters can take interim fights before facing each other in the fall, and it's been extended to mid-July. So Kovalev's going to be fighting on July 11th. There's still no word if Andre Ward is going to take an interim fight. He should. Perhaps Shabrinsky would be that opponent for him on his next showcase on HBO. And then the stars will align for a November fight later this year. All they have to do is get past their interim fights. Still no word if Ward's going to fight again, but most likely he will. Deadline's been extended to mid-July. This fight against Chilemba doesn't really excite me that much, but when Kovalev fights, it's always going to be something to watch, something to look out for, a knockout, another great performance. Kovalev's been on a tear ever since he's been showcased on American television, back when he was on the NBC Sports Network days, when Main Events had that deal with NBC. That's when you first saw that Kovalev could really be something special, as he was just icing guys relatively early in fights, and then he became a stable on HBO, and he's one of the top 3 pound fighters in the world. His fan base is increasing. He's really been promoted pretty good. Cool merchandise that he's got: Crusher hats, Crusher shirts, unified champion, 3 belts. Only needs a WBC, and now he's on his way to a big pay-per-view fight with an American star and Andre Ward on the HBO pay-per-view platform. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this fight. Are you fine with the opponent? Would you have preferred another opponent for Kovalev? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.